Good day, greeting students. I am very happy to meet you all again in grade 12 business studies. We are in chapter 12 discussing about consumer protection. So we have been talking about marketing for a long time and we have completed the chapter successfully and moved on to consumer protection. This is also a very important chapter which tells you how you need to take care of a consumer. So being a consumer, what can be expected from your marketers, and being a marketer or a businessman, how you should be responsible towards your consumer and what rights do they have to file a case against you, or how rightful they are about the products and services is what we are discussing in this chapter. In the previous session we have discussed about what is consumer protection, why do we need it, and we have discussed the importance of consumer protection from a business point of view as well as consumer point of view. Now we are going to talk about legal protection to consumers. The topic importance of consumer protection is actually a deleted topic, but still I wanted you to know about it. That's why we quickly studied about that. Now we are going to talk about the legal protection given to consumers, that is the cases or whatever legal steps you want to take, the acts that are given. Legal protection for, they can approach the court, the judiciary system. So what are the laws and acts that gives a protection to consumers is what we are going to discuss. So the Indian legal framework consists of a number of regulations. So அது எப்படி இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் பாலிசி ரெசல்யூஷன் ஒன்று இருக்கோ, இந்த இண்டஸ்ட்ரி இப்படி தான் நடத்தணும்ன்ட்டு இருக்கோ, அதே மாதிரி எப்படி ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டெப்புக்கும் அவங்க ரூல்ஸ் அண்ட் ரெகுலேஷன்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்காங்களோ, அதே மாதிரி டுவர்ட்ஸ் கன்சியூமர் ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் ஆல்சோ there are rules and regulations that has to be followed. So as per the Right to Information Act 2005 section 4, all relevant information is required to be made available to all citizens of the country. So RTI Act நம்ம சொல்றோம், that is the Right to Information Act 2005 section 4. Very important point. The Right to Information Act 2005, that is RTI Act 2005 section 4 lets all citizens of the country a right towards information. இப்போ நமக்கு எதை பற்றியாவது ஒரு இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் தெரியணும் அப்படின்னா you can register in this RTI, Right to Information Act, and from there you can get information. So according to this, all the citizens are liable, or all the citizens are have this eligibility to get information about anything. Fine. So இதை தாண்டி what are the regulations that have been passed already? What are the other regulations that are given under consumer protection is what we are going to discuss now. The most important act out of all the other acts is the Consumer Protection Act 1986. This is a very important act. The Consumer Protection Act 1986. Children, remember this year properly. It is called the CPA 1986. So under this act you can register complaints on any kind of organization, let it be a private sector or let it be a government sector. You can file a case against CPA. What is the act name? Consumer Protection Act 1986, a very important point to be remembered, children. So one such case, as promised, I will discuss with you is that a case, a private sector, a private company filed against the Karnataka's electricity board. So private sector versus Karnataka's electricity board na government sector. What was the case appadina? See, we applied for electricity connection in February and all the process have been done. Janil apply panni ella process mudinjiruchu, whatever payments we have to do, everything is done, and we are supposed to get this is actually an iron industry, so we are supposed to get electricity from February la irundhu engalukku electricity connection vandirukkanum, but we didn't get that electricity connection for about 10 months. October varikume engalukku and electricity connection varala. We got it only in November. So what was the case is they appealed that they have to give us a compensation for this 10 months loss, and the electricity illadadunala we could not run our industry. Okay, because of their negligence everything was fine. எல்லாமே நாங்கள் அப்ளை பண்ணிட்டோம், எல்லா ரூல்ஸ் அண்ட் ரெகுலேஷன்ஸும் ஃபினிஷ் பண்ணியாச்சு, எல்லா ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் ஃபீயும் பே பண்ணியாச்சு. அதையும் தாண்டி they haven't given us. அதனால் we have faced so much of loss அப்படின்னு சொல்லி they filed a case. What was the point of view of this side? அதாவது இந்த எலக்ட்ரிசிட்டி போர்டோட பாயிண்ட்ஸ் என்னென்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் திங், how will they become consumers? Consumers are direct consumers, end consumers. Okay, இவங்க ஒரு ப்ரொடக்ஷன் ப்ராசஸ்க்காக கேட்குறப்போ it will not come under the Consumer Act 2005. That was the first point. Okay, so what were the arguments? The first argument was that private company isn't a consumer and hence CPA cannot be applied here. Okay, so in the act avanga follow panna mudiyadhu. This act cannot help them. What did the court say? Court said that company is a artificial person. Okay, hence they can be called a consumer. The argument kept by the electricity board was that they are not at all a person. ஒரு பர்சனால தான் கன்சியூமராக இருக்க முடியும், and they can come under this act. ஒரு ப்ரைவேட் கம்பெனி எப்படி வந்து ஒரு இண்டஸ்ட்ரி எப்படி பர்சனாக கால்குலேட் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா, இட் இஸ் அன் ஆர்டிஃபிஷியல் பர்சன் and hence can be calculated as a person, and it is not the end purpose. And the electricity consume பண்றது, it is not for the end purpose but for the production. Iron and steel industry la, so iron produce பண்றதுக்காக consume பண்றாங்க. That cannot be an end purpose. அது ஒரு commercial purpose. Commercial purpose ஓடது consumer எப்படி consumer codeல apply பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்னா, yes they can. Court said they can because electricity is a service used for production. அவங்க அதை கன்சியூம் பண்ணிடுறாங்க இல்லையா, with that consumption they are using. அதுவும் ஒரு raw material மாதிரியும் இருக்கலாம். For them it is a service. 10 months அவங்க எலக்ட்ரிசிட்டி கொடுக்காததுக்கு they are ordered to give a compensation of a lump sum. ஒரு பிக் அமௌண்ட்டை காம்பன்சேஷனாக அந்த கர்நாடகா எலக்ட்ரிசிட்டி போர்ட் they gave it to this private sector and the private company. So what does CPA Act does? What is this Consumer Protection Act? What does it do? You have the ability to even file a case against a government sector company. Okay, நம்ம எவ்வளவு தடவை நியூஸ்ல பார்க்குறோம், government bus has been seized, ஜப்தி பண்ணிட்டாங்க for the repayment, for the solatium, அதுக்கு compensate பண்ணுறதுக்காக அவங்க compensation கொடுக்காததுனால government bus ஜப்தி பண்ணிட்டாங்க. It is a government sector and government asset. அதையே ஜப்தி பண்ண முடியும் just for one single consumer. So consumer is a king, is the main thing that we need to keep in mind about the Consumer Protection Act 1986. Whatever acts have come, this Consumer Protection Act has a very wide scope. Day by day we will be discussing, and most of the cases will be filed under Consumer Protection Act 1986. So this seeks to protect and promote the interest of consumers. It safeguards to consumers. The Act provides safeguards to consumers against defective goods, deficient services. Deficient services are நம்ம இங்க பார்த்தது. Okay, so against safeguards consumers against defective goods, deficient services, okay, and then unfair trade practices, unfair weight சரியா இல்லை அப்படிலாம் நம்ம சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, that kind of thing, and then exploitation and any form of exploitation. Since this is an important act, there is a separate para given about it also. We will combine that and this instead of seeing it two different times. The act provides for the setting up of a 3-tier machinery consisting of district forums, state commissions and national commissions. It has a 3 levels, okay, 3-tier machinery solving system. Okay, what does it have? Under this 3-tier, every district has a forum, district forums, state commissions, and national commissions. What do we have? We have state commissions, national commissions and district forums. So just like how courts have different levels, idukkum vandu different levels irukku. So if you can't get in the district forum, you can appeal in state commission and then in national commission. Okay, it also provides the formation of consumer protection councils in every district and state and at the apex level. So apart from this, what do you also have? It has consumer protection councils, small councils, consumer protection councils can be formed under this act, can be formed at district, state and apex level, central level. Okay. So this act seeks to protect and promote the consumer's interest through speedy and inexpensive redressal of their speedy. What is one more benefit of this system? It has a speedy and it is an inexpensive forum. Inexpensive redressal, that is you need to address avangaloda problems solve panni kudukuradha da redressal nama solrom. Fine, the scope of the act is very wide. It is applicable to all types of undertakings, big and small, whether in the private or public sector, cooperative sector, manufacturer, trader, supplying goods or providing services. The scope is very wide. The scope of this act is very wide, that it covers big industries, small industries, private or public industries, for goods and services, supplies of goods or services, all are covered in this. So it confers certain rights to consumers with a view to empowering them and to protect their interests. So it empowers consumers. What is its main goal? The main goal of the Consumer Protection Act 1986 is that it empowers consumers and protect their interest. So what is the first act that we have discussed, children? The Consumer Protection Act 1986. இது எப்பவுமே மைண்ட்ல இருக்கணும். The Consumer Protection Act 1986. It is a very important act. ஏன்னா the scope of this act is very wide. It covers all sorts of industries. நம்ம பார்க்க போற maximum number of cases எங்க ஃபைல் ஆயிருக்கும்னா CPA 1986ல தான். ஏன் அப்படினா its scope is wide and it can cover many industries, big industries, small industries, private industries, public industries, services ka irkalam, goods ka irkalam, eduva irundhalum it covers. Its scope is very wide. It has a very wide blanket to cover. Fine. And it safeguards consumers against what are the other things அப்படினா defective goods இருந்தா நம்ம சொல்லலாம், deficient services, any form of exploitation, unfair trade practices. இது எல்லாத்துக்கும் நம்ம வந்து CPA 1986ல solution இருக்கு. And one more important advantage of this is it gives you a speedy and inexpensive redressal. Okay, so you don't have to spend much. Or consumer alta ayona court ku ponuma ivlo selav pannuma adu pannuma idu pannuma antillama, this gives you a very inexpensive redressal and it is very speedy. Or case romba naal agudunale we lose interest in it, so you get the speedy answers, solutions for your problems. This is a 3-tier machinery which works at district level, state level and national level, and you can have consumer protection councils at each level also. Fine. And what else? It empowers the consumers. Very importantly, it empowers the consumers to protect their interest. அவங்களோட ரைட் அப்படியே preserve பண்ணி கொடுக்குது. Fine. They do not want to face any difficulty in this exploitation, due to this exploitation or defective goods or deficient services. இது எதுனாலயும் அவங்க எந்த விதமான ப்ராப்ளம்ஸும் ஃபேஸ் பண்ண வேண்டி இருக்காது. Understood? Moving on to the second act, we're going to discuss 10 different acts. But what is very important அப்படினா CPA 1986, the Consumer Protection Act 1986. Keep it in your mind. And what is the year of Right to Information Act? 2005, section 4. Why do we have to know all these acts? As a business person, you need to know these acts because consumers are the kings. You cannot do anything wrong to them. You have to be true to your work. You have to be socially responsible. You should not try to exploit them. If you try to exploit them, your business will come to an end. Okay, being a consumer, you should know these because நம்ம ஒரு businessman இருந்தாலும் we consume certain things from certain people. இப்போ இந்த electricity board மாதிரி, then we need to get any kind of raw materials அப்படின்னா அதுவும் நமக்கு supply தான், right? அப்போ நம்ம கன்சியூமராக இருக்கிறப்போ you need to know your rights. Fine, for that reason only we are discussing this legal protection to consumers. Understood? The next act is the Indian Contract Act 1872. What is the first act that we have discussed? The Consumer Protection Act 1986. The second act that we are discussing is the Indian Contract Act 1872. The Indian Contract Act 1872. So what does this act say? The act lays down the conditions in which the promises made by parties to a contract will be binding on each other. The act also specifies the remedies available to parties in case of a contract. So this second act talks about promises made in a contract. So ஒரு partnership business இருக்கலாம், you enter into some kind of contract agreement. அது ரெண்டு பேருமே you need to accept. If something goes wrong, then the act that will help you is the Indian Contract Act 1872. This covers all kind of contract, business contract, என்ன மாதிரியான contracts இருந்தாலும் if at all there is a breach of a contract by any one party, then they can file a case against the Indian Contract Act 1872. Understood? The next thing, இது ஏன் நம்ம பார்க்குறோம் அப்படின்னா, as a business person with your suppliers you might have had a contract. அந்த கேஸில் you can go for this. Okay, or உங்களோட மிடில்மேனோட ஒரு கான்ட்ராக்ட் இருந்திருக்கலாம். when you want to transport there might be a contract. so அந்த கான்ட்ராக்டில் ஏதாவது breach இருந்துச்சுன்னா this act will come to your aid. The next is the Sale of Goods Act 1930. The Sale of Goods Act 1930. What does this say means? It provides safeguard, it provides reliefs to the buyers of the goods in case the goods purchased do not comply with express or implied conditions or warranty. So இது வந்து it helps the buyer. என்ன மாதிரி? So you are buying a watch. It says that it is a diving watch or a particular limit, they say 100 meter under the sea it will still work அப்படினு சொல்றாங்க. But when it does not work according to that, then you have to file a case against them under the Sale of Goods Act 1930. Fine, நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்? When the product is not as per the warranties given or as per the conditions given in the warranty, then you can file a case against them under the Sale of Goods Act 1930. Understood? The next act is the Essential Commodities Act 1955. The Essential Commodities Act 1955. The Act aims at controlling production, supply and distribution of essential commodities, checking inflationary trend. Inflationary trend means increase in prices. So this should be controlled. Essential goods la ஏதாவது ஒரு சேஞ்ச் அங்கே டிமாண்ட் க்ரியேட் பண்ணுற மாதிரி ஸ்லோ ஆகிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா தென் த இன்ஃப்ளேஷனரி வில் ஸ்டார்ட் டு ஹேப்பன். இப்போ லாரி ஸ்ட்ரைக் அப்படின்னா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கலி இட் டாக்ஸ் அபவுட் எசென்ஷியல் கூட்ஸ் will not reach the destination. அப்படிங்கிறப்போ ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கலி the price of goods will increase. ஏன்னா டிமாண்ட் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகிறதுனால ப்ரைஸும் சேர்ந்து இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகும். Such problems will be handled by the Essential Commodities Act 1955 and ensuring equal distribution of essential commodities. The Act also provides for action against anti-social activities of profiteers, hoarders and black marketers. So, to ensure equal distribution of essential goods and to avoid malpractices. Exploitation எதுவுமே இல்லாமல் ஈக்குவல் டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூஷன் எசென்ஷியல் கூட்ஸை பொறுத்தளவு எல்லாருக்குமே ஈக்குவலாக போய் சேருதா? இஸ் தேர் எனி கைண்ட் ஆஃப் மால் ப்ராக்டிசஸ் தேர்? யாராவது அதிக விலைக்கு விற்கிறாங்களா? தட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் problems will be handled by the Essential Commodities Act 1955. Okay children, the next act that we are going to discuss is the Agricultural Produce Act 1937. So idu nama economics liyum discuss pannom. The Agricultural Produce Grading and Marking Act 1937. Do you remember what is grading and marking? So agriculture produce standardization பொறுத்து நம்மளால produce பண்ண முடியாது. So once they are produced, you have to grade them and mark them accordingly. So that is done here, and this Act prescribes grade standards for agricultural commodities and livestock product. It stipulates the conditions which govern the use of standards. The quality mark approved mark provided under the Act is known as AGMARK, an acronym for agricultural marketing. So one important point under the Agricultural Produce Act is the AGMARK. Agricultural marketing. So AGMARK yaar kudupa appadina? It is given by the Agricultural Produce Act 1937. It gives conditions for grading the agricultural produce. அதுக்கு ஏற்ற மாதிரி கிரேட் பண்ணுறதுக்கும் பேக் பண்ணுறதுக்கும் இது எந்த ஆக்ட்மா? தி Agricultural Produce Act 1937. The AGMARK is given under this particular act. Fine, we will be discussing about hallmark everything in the coming sessions, but AGMARK is given by the Agricultural Produce Act 1937. And what is AGMARK? Agricultural Marketing's acronym is called as AGMARK. Okay, the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. The Adulteration, what is that? Mixing of non-quality goods with quality goods is called as adulteration. So this act aims to check the adulteration of food and it ensures purity. Okay, so to maintain public health. The next act is the Standards of Weights and Measures Act. What is the next act? The Standards of What does this act tell us? This is for the goods which are sold and distributed based on their weight, measure or number. It provides protection to consumers against the malpractice of underweight or undermeasure. It deals with problems like underweight or under measure. இப்போ ஒரு பெட்ரோல் பங்க்ல 1 liter பெட்ரோலுக்கு 800 ml தான் இருக்கு அப்படின்னா who deals that case? The case is dealt by the Standards of Weights and Measures Act 1976 under measure. Under weight நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம், 1 kg க்கு பதிலா 800 grams தான் இருக்கு பாக்கெட்ல அப்படின்னா you have to appeal under the Standards of Weights and Measures Act 1976. So it protects consumers from these problems, underweight or under measure problems. Understood? The next act is the Trademarks Act 1999. In the previous chapter we discussed about brand name, trademark, everything. So the Trademarks Act 1999. Children, I want you to draw a concept map based on whatever is on the board right now. Enna pannuna, so you can put consumer protection in the center and then you can draw various branches from it. In each branch you put an act name and what does the act cover. Okay, so use your creativity and do a concept map for this particular thing so that it stays in your mind. Enna stay pannom, the acts, the years and what does the act cover. Abdingra the information should be in your concept map. This is easy for you to remember. Okay, so that is very essential that you do it. So here what happens is this act has repealed and replaced the Trade and Merchandise Marks Act 1958. This act prevents the use of fraudulent mark on products and thus provides protection to the consumers against such products. So இப்போ ரீசெண்டாக ஒரு கேஸ் என்னன்னா விமன் கார்மெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு ஃபேமஸான ஒரு company, a brand name was Naidu Hall. So that brand name was registered, அது வந்து ஒரு trademark, it was registered under the act, but someone was using it, was doing malpractices ங்கிறதுனால the owner of that company has appealed that this trademark is ours, எங்களோட brand nameல வேற யாரோ sell பண்றாங்கன்னு சொல்லி there was a case filed. So the permission and the arguments went according to that. So this trademark is very important. ஏன் அப்படின்னா என்னோட நேம்ல வேற யாருமே வந்து they cannot produce products. So this will நம்ம வந்து ஒரு brand name வச்சு வாங்குறோம். If my trademark is registered, nobody can use my trademark and cheat the consumers. So in the Trademarks Act என்ன பண்ணும் அப்படின்னா to avoid fraudulent products. Okay, to avoid fraudulent marks on products. to avoid fraudulent marks on products. Understood? The next act is the Competition Act 2002. The Competition Act 2002. What do we know about this act? This act has repealed and replaced the Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act. The act provides protection to the consumers in case of practices adopted by business firms which hamper competition in the market. So there should be a perfect competition, there should be like a proper competition. Adu oru nalla competition illama when they try to put down others products, then this act comes into effect. Okay, so the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 1986, which is the act that we are going to discuss. The Bureau of Indian Standards Act Act 1986. And what are we doing under this act? It has been set up under the act. Okay, the Bureau of Indian Standards has been set up under the act. The Bureau has two major activities. What are the two major activities? First one is formulation of quality standards for goods and their certification through the BIS certification scheme. The BIS hallmark nama solrom illaya. What is that? BIS stands for Bureau of Indian Standards. BIS na ennama? Bureau of Indian Standards. Adula kudukkuradhu da indha certification, BIS certification appdi nama solrom illaya. What is that? Bureau of Indian Standards. Keep it in your mind. And which is the year? Just like the Consumer Protection Act, this is also from 1986. So what are the two major activities? The first activity is to formulate quality standards, formulation of quality standards, and the second one is its certification. Okay, its certification under BIS. BIS na enna nama sonnom? Bureau of Indian Standards is the BIS hallmark. Okay, now manufacturers are permitted to use the ISI mark, Indian Standards. Okay, ISI mark on their products only after ensuring the goods conform to the standards. Inge set pannirukra standard prakaram irukra goods ku mattumda this ISI is allowed and given. Okay, the Bureau has also set up a grievance cell where consumers can make a complaint about the quality of products carrying the ISI mark. So there is a grievance cell. You know, ISI is standard mark. On that, if someone is cheating or somebody's product is not of to that quality, they can go to the Bureau of Indian Standards and appeal. Okay, so the most important of these regulations is the Consumer Protection Act, which provides for 6 consumer rights and helps consumers in getting their grievances redressed for any shortcoming in the goods purchased or the services availed. So out of this, which is the most important act? The Consumer Protection Act 1986. Why? Means it gives them 6 important rights. யாருக்கு கொடுக்குது? It gives 6 important consumer rights. Okay, so we are going to discuss the consumer rights given by the Consumer Protection Act 1986. So which act gives this? The Consumer Protection Act 1986, and given by whom? The CPA 1986. How many important rights? 6 important rights. And what are those rights? First one, a right to safety. The first right is to safety. It is the consumer has right to be protected against the goods and services that are hazardous to life and health. Okay, right to safety against hazardous means dangerous. Hazardous goods and services. And so for instance, electric appliances which are manufactured with substandard products. இப்போ நம்ம டிவியில் அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட்டில் பார்க்குறோம் இல்லையா, ஷாக் ப்ரூஃப். ஓகே, ஸோ ஷார்ட் சர்க்யூட் ஆகிடுச்சுன்ற மாதிரி நம்ம பார்க்குறோம். All these things can be addressed by CPA under this act. Okay, right to safety. First thing what it is? Safety. There should not be any substandard, or not the safety norms should be should be followed strictly. So the consumers are educated that they should use electrical appliances which are ISI marked, as this would be an assurance. So we want to use only assured products. Safety norms padi kuduthirukradha nama follow pandrom. Ingredients la whether any artificial colors are added, permitted colors nu avanga podranga, non hazardous podranga, danger mark podranga. Idella edukuna we consumers have the right towards safety. Okay, then the right to be informed. So second one, so right to be informed. Nama right to information act 2005, but 1986 CPA gives you the right to be informed. What it is? So it gives you information. Consumers have right to have complete information about the product. Complete information of the அதோட price, அதோட ingredients, அதோட license number, trademark, address. Why do they give all these things? Because we have the right to be informed. என்ன வாங்கினாலுமே அதில் அந்த பாக்ஸில் they give you the complete details. அப்படின்னா it helps what? See, here it is given special features. So right to be informed. It says non-toxic, non-soiling, long lasting, smooth writing, non-polluting. So இந்த மாதிரி we have the right to be informed. அதோட good என்ன, bad என்ன, what are the things that we have to do, what are the things we should not be do. Keep away from children, store in a cool place, store in a dry place, do not refrigerate. இது மாதிரியெல்லாம் போடுறாங்க இல்லையா. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் என்னென்னா right to be informed. Fine. So we have the legal framework requires a manufacturer to provide such information on the package and label of the product. Usually enga irukum on the package packet or on the label of the product. அது எவ்வளோ சின்ன ப்ராடக்டாக இருந்தாலும் we get these informations on it. ஒரு மேட்ச் பாக்ஸில் கூட நமக்கு அந்த இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் இருக்கும். Because the CPA gives us the right to be informed. The next thing, very important, the right to choose. There is no force on us. We have the freedom to choose. Consumers have the freedom to choose from a variety of products. So the marketers would offer, market offering அங்கே இருக்கும், அதிலிருந்து நம்ம சூஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறது யாரோட ரைட்டுன்னு சொல்கிறோம்? ரைட் டு சூஸ் இஸ் ஃபார் த கன்சியூமர்ஸ். நோபடி கேன் இம்போஸ் திங்ஸ் ஆன் இட். They can just offer their products, but they cannot force it on us. Okay, a right to be heard. Fourth one is right to be heard. What is that? So we have a right to file a complaint. To file a complaint or state our grievances. Packetல போடுறாங்க இல்லையா, for feedback. If you are not satisfied with the product, if you have any complaints regarding the product, அது அதில் மட்டும் இல்லை, ஒரு பப்ளிக் சர்வீஸில் கூட இருக்கும். உங்களோட இபி பில் எடுத்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃபார் எனி கம்ப்ளைண்ட்ஸ் கால் டோல் ஃப்ரீ நம்பர். பப்ளிக் செக்டரில் இருக்குது, பஸ்ஸில் இருக்குது. ஓகே, யூ ஹாவ் இட் இன் ட்ரெயின்ஸ். என்ன விதமான பப்ளிக் செக்டராக இருந்தாலும் சரி, ப்ரைவேட் செக்டராக இருந்தாலும் சரி, ஸ்மால் இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ், பிக் இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ், கூட்ஸ், சர்வீசஸ், எவ்ரிபடி will come under this act. That is why we say that CPA 1986 is the most important consumer protection act, because it gives these rights to the consumers. We can give our redressal. நம்ம ஏற்கனவே பார்த்த மாதிரி it forms 3 different levels of machinery இல்லையா. We can approach them and solve our problems. Okay, so it is because of this reason that many enlightened business firms have their own consumer service. Consumer care, customer care ni edukku vechirukanga? To hear our complaints, okay, to hear our grievances and to know what are the problems, how they can be solved, all these things, because consumers have this right to tell their problems. Okay, then right to seek redressal. சொல்றது மட்டும் இல்லாம we can go to the next level to file a complaint also. Right to seek redressal. So we can expect reliefs. Reliefsனா இந்த காம்பன்சேஷனாக இருக்கலாம், or some kind of thing that satisfies us. அவங்களால நம்ம பாதிக்கப்பட்டதுக்கு some kind of punishment to them also might be given. Okay, so the Consumer Protection Act provides a number of reliefs to the consumers, including replacement of the product, removal of defect in the product, compensation paid, okay, suspension and மாதிரி punishments கூட கொடுக்கிறதுக்கு we have the chances. And finally, right to consumer education. இந்த ஆக்ட் பற்றிலாம் நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறோம் இல்லையா. So that itself is called as right to consumer education. So what are we doing? We have the right to acquire knowledge and to be well informed consumer throughout life. So நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுறோம் அப்படின்னா, we educate the consumers about the rights and the reliefs that they can apply for. So இதெல்லாம் நம்ம சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, இதெல்லாம் ரைட்ஸ் இருக்குன்னு நம்ம படிக்கிறோம். It should reach every individual consumer. Right to consumer education. Many business firms, they even have taken up these steps, okay, to file a complaint. They tell you if you have a problem, write to the post box number. So இதை பற்றிலாம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு they give you a chance. Okay, the Consumer Protection Act, by conferring these rights on the consumers, empowers them. Consumer க்கு ஒரு பவர் இருக்கு, இத்தனை ரைட்ஸ் இருக்கு எனக்கு. I can file a case against you. If I know that I am being cheated, or if I just feel that I am being cheated, I can get information about it. Ennala questions kekka mudiyum. I can get my relief and redressals. Okay, I have every right to talk out my opinions. This education is given to me. Okay, so the fight against any unscrupulous, exploitative and unfair trade practices adopted by sellers, we can fight against it. The box on East Delhi Eatery shows how a restaurant owner has fined for overpricing bottled water. So we will just go through that case quickly and finish that session. This can be achieved. Ennada CPL, we have so many things covered. Wide scope irukku, ivlo act irukku, CPA mattume 6 consumer rights kudukranga. But still all this can be successfully accomplished only if the consumers are paying any attention towards it. So consumers and that case file panna ready illa appadina, the judiciary system cannot do anything towards it. So the consumer protection is actually depending not only on the organization's judiciary system but also on the society, that is the consumers. Okay, so eatery fine for overpricing bottled water. This one thing I will discuss with you. Remaining cases you can discuss yourself, because other than this we are also discussing some other cases, no, that's why. So a restaurant owner in East Delhi has been directed to pay a fine of ₹5,000 to a customer who was asked to shell out ₹34 for a water bottle which had a maximum retail price of ₹14. Sorry, ₹12 rupees kana ஒரு bottle 34 rupees க்கு சேல் பண்ணதுக்காக 5,000 rupees of fine has been imposed. நம்ம பார்க்குறோம் இப்போ when we buy water bottles or juice bottles, கூலிங்காக 2 rupees extra charge பண்ணுறாங்க, which is not right. Okay, you have every right to fight against them. You can file a case against them. This 2 rupees is not required to be charged. Fine. So the fine comes at a time when consumer courts are turning the heat on shop owners for overcharge. In a recent landmark decision, the State Consumer Commission had slapped a fine of ₹50,000 on a Cineplex for similar malpractice. So adhigama kaasu vechi vikkiradhukku irukku illaya, velila ipo when you see, no, 20 rupees packet will be there, but when you travel in trains or when you travel on a highway, ரொம்ப ரேரா கிடைக்கிற இடத்துல they sell it at a higher cost. ஏன்னா அங்கே வேற எந்த கடையும் இல்லைங்கிறப்ப you don't have an option, நம்ம வாங்கி தான் ஆகணும். But that even is not right. Okay, is what Consumer Protection Act is telling us. So we have discussed the various acts and the consumer rights given by the Consumer Protection Act 1986. I hope you have understood this. I want you to draw a concept map on these acts and what do they cover. அவங்களோட scope என்ன, எதுக்கு concentrate பண்றாங்கங்கிறது you just draw it in as a concept map so that it's easy for you to understand. In the next session we'll meet to discuss about the consumer's responsibilities and ways and means of consumer protection, redressals, relief availables also. Right? If at all you have any doubts, please feel free to reach me out and get your doubts clarified. Thank you and may all have a wonderful day today.